first act of the Shadow's adventure is about to start. And motorists, don't forget this. The first act of any safe driving program is to equip your car with the tire that offers the greatest protection against skids and blowouts. To meet that requirement, you need the new Goodrich Safety Silvertown. It's the only tire with the amazing lifesaver tread that sweeps wet roads so dry you can light a match on its track. So dry, you get the quickest non-skid stops you've ever had. It's the only tire, too, that gives you the life-saving blowout protection of the famous Golden Ply. To make your driving safer on wet roads or dry, equip your car with Goodrich Safety Silvertown. The Shadow, Lamont Cranston, a man of wealth, a student of science, and a master of other people's minds, devotes his life to righting wrongs, protecting the innocent, and punishing the guilty. Cranston is known to the underworld as the Shadow. Never seen, only heard, his true identity is known only to his constant friend and aide, Margot Lane. Today's story, Death Stalks the Shadow.
Mally's in the end cell, Mr. Murdoch. Just talk to him through the bars. You're the last visitor he'll see.
In cell, right. Hello, Mally.
Huh?
It's me, kid. Peter Murdoch.
Murdoch. Gee, I thought you'd never get here.
Come on, pull yourself together, Mally.
It's easy enough for you to talk. You ain't been sitting here waiting. Every day the chair getting closer.
Now, Mally.
You're testing the current. Listen. Hear that big dynamo turnover? Coming. They're testing it for me. For me.
Shut up.
Murdoch. You see the governor?
Yeah, I saw him, yes.
Well? Well, say something.
There won't be any reprieve, kid. We're licked.
We're licked. That's funny, Murdoch. You ain't in here. You ain't gonna sit in that chair.
I didn't kill anybody, Mally.
Why, you dirty double-crossing rat. Who planned that killing? Who promised I'd never even do time for it? You did.
Well, I didn't figure on the Shadow, Mally.
Yeah, I know. The Shadow. He caught me. He didn't know I was only doing your dirty work for you. I should have told him.
Yeah, but you didn't.
I trusted you. Peter Murdoch, the great lawyer. You said you'd get me off.
I can't win all my cases.
You didn't even try. Throw me to the wolves. So the Shadow wouldn't learn the truth about you.
Well, it worked, didn't it?
If I could get through these bars, I'd fix you, Murdoch. Anyhow, I can tell the truth about you. I'll sing so loud.
Sing your head off. My reputation is too good. Nobody will believe you.
Shadow might believe me, Murdoch. Suppose I told the Shadow who turned Dan Malley from a decent kid into a killer.
Stop dreaming, Mally. This is the death house. Tonight you're walking right through that door down there, and you're not coming back.
Why, you...
Oh, you'd better forget all about the Shadow. So long, Mally.
Come back here! Come back here!
So long, sucker.
Hey, Mally, any news for you?
Yeah. Bad news.
Gee, tough luck, kid.
Yeah, but I ain't through yet. Before they burn me, there's something I gotta do. Guard! Hey, guard! Where's that tin cup? Guard! Guard!
Pipe down, you guys! Pipe down! What's the matter, Mally?
I want to talk to Commissioner West. I gotta see him right away.
What for?
He's gotta locate somebody for me. Somebody I want to talk to. Well, don't stand there. Get me Commissioner Weston!
How did you happen to choose this cafe, Lamont?
Well, Margot, this is a place Commissioner Weston showed me, and I had hopes the gaiety might stop my thinking.
What's bothering you?
Today is the 12th, Margot. Young Dan Malley goes to the chair tonight, thanks to the Shadow.
But, Lamont, surely you don't regret the Shadow's having captured that murderer for the police?
No, not exactly. Malley fired the shot all right, but I've never felt the case was completely solved. Oh, well, let's forget that.
Oh, Lamont, look. When that waiter started for the kitchen, the door opened without his touching it.
Yes. Works by photoelectric ray.
Oh, what's that?
Look each side of the door, Margot. See those chromium fixtures sticking out of the floor? Lights hidden at the top of them?
Yes.
There's a beam of light between those two bulbs. When anyone approaches the door, his body breaks that ray. Whenever the ray is broken, the door opens without touching
How
it.
clever.
Yes, and convenient. But Margot, I've sometimes thought it might even prove dangerous to a certain friend of yours,
Whom do you mean?
the Shadow.
But I don't understand.
The Shadow can hide himself from the human eye, Margot, but he has a physical being, and the photoelectric beam could detect his presence.
Hush, Lamont. Here comes Commissioner Weston now.
Oh, I see. Well, good evening, Commissioner.
Oh, Preston, how are you? And you, Miss Lane?
Very well, Commissioner Weston.
Won't you join us?
Thanks, but I think not. I'm rather upset tonight.
Oh, what's the matter, Commissioner?
Well, Miss Lane, have you ever heard of the Shadow?
The Shadow.
Oh, yes, Margot. You've heard the absurd stories about his great deeds, huh? All poppycock, of course.
I'd give anything to contact the Shadow right this minute.
But why?
A boy named Dan Malley goes to the electric chair tonight with vital information. The only person he'll talk to is the Shadow. It's because I don't know how to find the Shadow I'm beaten. Well, I won't find him here. So if you forgive me, I'll run along. Good night.
Good night, Commissioner Weston.
Good night. Margot, my hunch about Danny's case must be right. Waiter.
Yes, sir.
Waiter, here's money for my bill. Never mind the change.
Thank you, sir.
Come, Margot, quick. I'm going to the death house now. As the Shadow.
Why doesn't he come? Why doesn't he come?
Were you waiting for me, Dan Malley?
Who's that? Who spoke?
The Shadow.
The Shadow.
There isn't much time, Malley. They're coming after you to take you to the chair. Speak quickly. What have you to say?
Plenty.
I can't save you, you know. You killed a man, Malley.
Yeah, I know. But it wasn't my idea, Shadow. Honest, it wasn't.
There was no evidence against anyone else.
Yeah, don't I know it. He's too clever for that.
Who is too clever?
The bird that got me into this. The smart fellow that saw the dumb kid on crime being a good business.
His name?
Peter Murdoch.
Do you know what you're saying, Dan? Murdoch's a famous criminal lawyer. His reputation...
His reps are blind. Listen, Pete Murdoch's the biggest crook in this section. He's got a piece of everything. Well, right now he's planning a slum fire that'll kill thousands and net him $1 million from insurance companies.
You're telling the truth?
A man doesn't lie when he's only got a few minutes to live, Mr. Shadow. The job's going to be pulled late this week.
I'll investigate it, Dan. If it's true, Peter Murdoch will pay for his crimes. But how can I get proof?
That's easy. Now listen. There's a friend of mine named Dopey Jake down by the wards, number 5 South Street. Jake knows enough about Murdoch's latest plan to prove what I said.
I'll see him.
Yeah, listen. If you can get to the filing cabinet in Murdoch's house, there's records and things, enough to finish him.
The Shadow promises justice, Dan Malley.
That's all I want.
They're coming, Dan.
Okay. I can take it. Thanks, Shadow. Thanks for coming.
Well, Dan, it's time.
Yeah. I know, Warden.
Unlock the door, Gus.
Right, Warden. Well, here goes.
Take his arms, Gus.
Steady, kid. I ain't scared. I ain't. Not as scared as Murdoch will be. Wait till the Shadow gets him.
All right, men. Forward.
Shadow. Yeah, don't be Jake. They'll fix him.
Goodbye, Malley. Come on, kid. Keep your chin up. Come on, Malley.
Dan, the other prisoners are saying goodbye.
So long, boys.
We'll be seeing you, Malley.
Murdoch. Jake. The Shadow. The Shadow.
Hey, what was that about the Shadow?
The Shadow caught Dan Malley. He put him here in the big house.
Oh.
Hey, you suppose it hurts much when they pull the switch?
Well, we'll find out.
Yeah. You know, it's funny how a nice kid like that gets to be a gunman.
Yeah, ain't it?
The man responsible will answer for that, my friend.
Hey, who said that?
The Shadow.
What the...
There it goes. The juice.
Well, Murdoch, like you planned, I got the job of getting Dan Malley out of the hot spot, and he went raving.
Yeah, Gus, they usually do.
That's right.
All right, cut it, Jake. Gus, what did Melly say when he was raving?
Something about you, Murdoch.
He mentioned names?
Yeah, Bess, he was yelling something about Dopey Jake and his shadow.
The shadow.
Seems like he'd been talking to the shadow in the death house.
Murdoch, just means the shadow got to Dan Malley.
All right. Beat it, Gus. I'm busy.
Okay.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, boss.
Show Gus out.
Okay. All right, come on, Gus. This way out. Okay.
What? The shadow.
The shadow.
Malley plan.
Shut up, all of you. Gus didn't see a soul get near to Malley.
You fool. The shadow hides from human eyes.
Yeah, that's right. And he knows about Dopey Jake now. If he should get Dopey to talk.
Listen, you half-wits. We've got to beat the shadow or lose the juiciest setup a gang ever had in this country. A fire that'll net us $1 million.
But, Murdoch, you can't lay hands on the shadow.
But that's just what I'm going to do.
But the shadow ain't real. He's kind of a spook.
No, he's real enough. He's a man, all right. He can die like any other man. Wait till you see the trap I'm building.
But how can you find the shadow?
You know, and I know where he can always be found. Where a crime has been committed.
Yeah, but there ain't any crime, Murdoch.
There's going to be one. A crime that'll set the shadow on my trail.
Well, I won't meddle with him.
Yeah, leave me out of this, Murdoch.
And me.
Now, you listen to me, Bess. Chick, and you too, Joe. You're in this, all of you. If anyone tries to rat, I'll put you on the same spot with Dan Malley. I mean it. Well, what do you say? You going to be good?
All right, you win. Well, what's this wonderful crime gonna be, Murdoch?
A little job down on the waterfront, Chick. At number 5 South Street. I want you and Joe to go down there tonight and kill our good friend, Dopey Jake.
Act 2 of The Shadow's adventure begins in just a moment. Meanwhile, I'd like to ask you a question. Would more highway police help cut down the number of auto accidents?
The shadow knows. The more miles of highway that are patrolled by police, the better and safer it is for everyone. But the real responsibility rests with the drivers. Carelessness reaps bitter fruit. Traffic regulations are made to be obeyed. Play safe. It pays.
You know, motorists, ever since the news about the new Goodrich Safety Silvertown first broke, thousands of motorists have switched to this new kind of tire. And believe me, it's mighty interesting to read and hear what these people say. Are they enthusiastic? You bet they are. Let me just read this one letter from a man who's been driving on these new Silvertowns. Here's what he says, quote, "Safety first for me when it comes to tires. That's why I switched to new Goodrich Safety Silvertown. They have the lifesaver tread, the quickest stopping non-skid tread I've ever come across, plus golden ply protection against blowouts. And considering the fact that I got these two great life-saving features without paying a penny extra, I'd say it's the best tire investment I've ever made." Unquote. Yes, motorists, and there are a lot of other drivers who are experiencing a new sense of driving security with Silvertown. Why not enjoy this peace of mind yourself, especially when you can get this quickest stopping non-skid tire at no extra cost?
Let me have that flashlight, Margot. Here we are. 5 South Street. Here's where Dopey Jake lives.
Lamont, do you hear that water?
These old empty tenements are built on piles over the river. It's the tide rushing out to sea.
Place gives me the creeps.
Here. Take my arm, Margot. We've got to go down a dark passageway to the door. Margot, after we enter the passageway, we mustn't speak. Just go up to the door, and I'll knock.
Yes, Lamont. I'm ready.
Come.
There's no one here.
Wait.
Lamont, let's get away from here.
No, wait. Margot, the door's not locked. I'm going in.
I'm going with you. I won't be left behind. Now.
Let me get my flashlight out. There. Come on, then.
Lamont!
What is it?
Turn your light that way on the floor. There's a man lying there.
Yes. Let me get a look at him. Oh, poor old fellow.
He lies so still.
Yes. There's a knife through his heart.
Oh, no.
It's pinning a note to his breast.
A note about it? What does it say?
Let me see. It says, "This is our pal, Dopey Jake. Get him to talk to you now, Shadow." Margot, this is Murdoch's challenge to the Shadow, and it must be accepted. I'm going directly to Murdoch as the Shadow.
Nearly finished with your wiring job, Steve?
Yeah, almost, Mr. Murdoch.
Gee, I hope it works.
Oh, don't you worry, Miss Bess. When I get the electric wires connected with this sliding steel door, this room of Mr. Murdoch's is going to be fixed so nobody can get in or out.
Good.
Say, I've been wondering why you want this arrangement, Mr. Murdoch. What's it for?
Well, we call it the lion's cage, Steve.
The lion's cage?
Mm-hmm.
You aren't going to put a lion in it, are you? You're kidding.
Sure, of course I am. Though we do plan to use the room soon. By the way, you haven't mentioned this job to anyone, have you?
Oh, no, sir. You said not to, so... Well, I didn't.
Hey, how does this steel door work, anyway?
I'll show you, miss.
Ready?
Yeah. Now, Mr. Murdoch, if you'll have your man outside throw the switch.
Best. Step out in the hall and tell Chick to switch on the current. He's in the room next to this.
Okay. Chick, turn on the juice.
Oh, Steve.
Yeah?
Won't that photoelectric ray be visible to anyone coming down the hall toward the door?
Oh, no, not a chance. The ray is infrared. Invisible. Look for yourself.
Yeah, you're right. You can't see the light.
You understand, the ray goes from one door jamb across to the other.
And anyone crossing the threshold breaks the ray?
Yeah, that's right.
Uh-huh.
And when the ray's broken, the steel door slams shut. Watch. Miss Bess, would you mind stepping back into the room for a minute?
Sure. What happens after you... Good night, what happened?
When you came in, you broke the ray and the steel door slammed shut.
Yeah, and it locks automatically.
Say, I don't like being locked in. I'm going on.
Hey, look out!
Don't touch that
Well,
door.
what's the matter?
Well, that door is charged with electricity, man. And if you touched it, you'd been electrocuted.
You see, Bess, I figure even our clever friend, the Shadow, will do the first natural thing after we trap him in here. He'll try the door to see if it's locked.
I get it. And when he does...
When he does, it's goodbye, Shadow.
You're sure he'll come?
When he finds Dopey Jake, he'll be here.
Say, Mr. Murdoch,
Huh?
you don't want to fool around with this door, you know. It's dangerous. I don't know who this guy Shadow is, but...
Young man, you talk too much.
Yes, doesn't he? Bess, go over to that panel in the wall. It's open. Yell at Chick in the next room to shut off the current.
Okay, man.
I don't get the idea of the panel in the wall with the steel screen over it, Mr. Murdoch.
Don't worry about it.
Chick, shut her off and come in here. Chick's coming.
Good.
Yeah, door's heavy. If you hadn't turned off the current, you couldn't have moved it.
Chick, pay off this man like we agreed.
Okay. Well, thanks. Buddy, your bill's gonna be settled. In full. Hey, put that gun down. What are you doing? This is the payoff, mister. No, you can't. Mr. Murdoch! Mr. Murdoch!
Good hunting, Chick. You know where to hide the body. Chick.
Yeah, Murdoch.
Stand by the front door, ready to open it for the Shadow.
I'm supposed to let him in?
Yes, you are, you fool. And if he speaks to you, you know what to do. Pretend to be scared and answer his questions.
Yeah, I don't have to pretend. I'm scared, all right. I'll wait till I beat the Shadow,
Well, there's a first time for everything.
You sure he'll come? It's getting late.
He'll come all right. Doesn't matter how late it is. We'll be here waiting.
Why don't you talk to him? I'm not crazy to talk.
No, I've got to get behind the glass panel in the room next to the lion's cage so I can see what's happening in there.
What's that?
The doorbell, you idiot. Go ahead, peek between the curtains.
There's no one out there. Nobody's touching the bell, but it's ringing.
Pull yourself together. It's the Shadow. Now, you give me a second to get away before you let him in. And remember, watch yourself.
I don't like this. I don't like it a bit, but here goes. What do you want? Who's there? Who is it? Who shut the door? Who is it?
The Shadow.
What do you want? I never...
Speak softly. Where does Peter Murdoch keep his filing cabinet?
Hey.
Quick, if you know what's good for you.
Down the hall in that room. In that room. That's Murdoch's private room. Go straight ahead of you.
Yes, and I won't stop until I get Murdoch.
It worked. That electric ray saw him, all right. Murdoch, we got him. We caught the Shadow.
Shut up, Chicken. Come here.
Can you see him, boss?
No, but he's in the lion's cage, all right. Right in the next room. Only this panel and a steel screen between us.
Open the panel, Murdoch. Maybe we can hear him move.
All right, Bess.
Gee, not a sound.
Maybe he ain't in there.
Oh, yes, he is. Hello, Shadow. Allow me to introduce myself. Peter Murdoch, the one man in the world who's too much for the Shadow. Come on, speak up so I'll know you're there, even if I can't see you.
Yes, Murdoch. The Shadow is here.
Getting all ready to beg for mercy?
No, Murdoch. You're doomed to disappointment. I warn you.
Warn me? You're my prisoner. You can't get away. If you don't believe me, try the door, Shadow.
No, Murdoch. I'm sure that it's locked.
Well, try it. Why don't you? Go on, you can't be sure. Try it.
You're much too anxious to have me touch that door. I don't wish to be electrocuted as young Dan Malley was.
You're smart, Shadow. But I'm smarter. Smart enough to trap and kill you.
I'm not dead yet, Murdoch.
But you will be very soon.
Then before I die, I might at least read the record of your crimes. Dan Malley said they were in this filing cabinet.
All right, go on then. Open the cabinet.
No wires lead to it, I see. Yes, Murdoch. I think I shall open it. Good Lord.
You like what you found, Shadow? Don't be afraid. It's only a body, just a dead body.
Who was this man? Murdoch, answer me. Let me see. A young man in overalls. A pair of pliers in his pocket. So, he's the poor devil who wired this room for you. You killed him so as to keep the secret of this death chamber.
It is a death chamber. The death chamber of the Shadow.
Margot Lane, the Shadow calling Margot Lane. Phone Commissioner Weston. Tell him to surround the house of Peter Murdoch. I'm held captive there. Hurry! Hurry!
Gee, Murdoch, this looking into an empty room gives me the jitters. You're sure he's still there?
Sure, Bess. Now, wait. I'll raise the panel and speak to him. Shadow, does the time drag? Don't you admire my room?
Don't put too much hope in this room of yours, Murdoch. The Shadow has escaped from worse places than this.
You talk a lot, Shadow.
Yeah. I wish we could see him, Murdoch.
We'll see him soon enough. We'll see him dead. We'll be able to see you when you're a stiff, Shadow.
What are you planning? You can't shoot what you can't see.
No, but we can smoke him out. You ready with that gas line, chick? Joe?
All set, boss.
Anytime you say. This is your finish, Shadow. We're slipping a tube through this panel and feeding you a nice little smoke screen of poison gas. There, Shadow, take a deep breath of this gas. In 10 minutes, you'll be dead. Turn the valve, chick. Give our regards to Dan O'Malley, Shadow, when you see him. How do you like it, Shadow? Makes you cough, doesn't it? But not for long.
Damn that gas panel. You're not telling me that stuff.
All right, watch now. Watch, he'll be dead in 10 minutes. Then we'll be able to see just who the Shadow was.
He's fussing around the corpse.
How do you know, Bess? You can't see him.
No, but the body of the electrician moved.
Chick, that workman didn't have a gun.
Nah, Murdoch. I went through his pockets. Nothing left in them but a pair of pliers.
Pliers?
Yeah, he can't do much with pliers.
I wonder.
Calm down, Bess. Won't be very long.
Murdoch, look. The light in the room went out.
He unscrewed the bulb.
I don't like this.
Oh, you're all scared silly. It's only... The lights. They're out. Come on, turn off that gas.
It's all dark. The current's off.
The Shadow blew the fuse. He must have used those pliers.
That means the steel door's unlocked.
That's the steel door opening. He's out. The Shadow's out.
To the front of the house, quick. Don't let him get away.
I can't see in the dark.
Come on, everybody in the hall. Hurry. Come on, now. Line up there. Across the front door.
But, Murdoch...
You fools. We can't let him slip through our fingers now after we've nearly had him.
But we can't see.
We can hear. Be quiet now. Everybody listen.
I hear something. Murdoch. It's outside the house.
Open up in there! Open up!
That isn't the Shadow.
Open! We're police officers.
The cops.
We're raiders.
Shut up. Don't let them hear you.
They can hear me, Murdoch. Smash in the door, Commissioner Weston. They're all here.
A shadow!
Yes, Murdoch. The shadow. Hurry, Commissioner.
All right, man. Go to work on that car.
I'm getting out of here.
Come on, run for it. I'll shoot the first one that moves.
Murdoch, we gotta run. It's the cops.
Stay here and I'll bluff it out.
You stay yourself. I'm getting out.
No, you're not.
Murdoch shot Beth.
Shadow, where are you? Come on, I dare you to show yourself.
I'll take that gun, Murdoch.
You. There. My arm, Shadow. Let go of me.
There. Now stand still.
All right. You've got my gun. Shoot. Go ahead, shoot.
Grab those men.
Commissioner Weston, these men are criminals. Peter Murdoch, the leader, just murdered the woman lying on the floor. And there's another body down the hall, an electrician.
Peter Murdoch, eh? This is a surprise.
Well, why didn't you shoot, Shadow? I tried to kill you. Were you afraid to fight back like a man?
No, Murdoch. I saved you for the same death that you sent Dan Malley to. Death in the electric chair. You've evaded the law for the longest time, Murdoch. You had a great mind. You were a brilliant lawyer. But for wealth, you threw all that away. Piled crime upon crime. But you went too far. Now you will meet, as must all men, justice.
Today's program is based on a story copyrighted by the Shadow magazine. All the characters and all the places named are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental. The Shadow magazine is now on sale at your local newsstand.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The shadow knows.